welcome to Chortle Games Live, and welcome back to Forward Compatible. We're doing Alan Wake this week. This is part 4. We're in the middle of episode 4, I believe. Which I'm just going to go ahead and give you guys a disclaimer, just up front. Hello, Kolov. I'm also a human. But I did not get but maybe like 2 hours of sleep last night. I'm exhausted. It's probably going to be reflected in the way I'm talking. So just bear that in mind. And don't go easy on me in case I say something stupid. But we're going to go ahead and hit that. I panicked a little bit.
I'm so glad you decided.
Oh my god, we're at this part. I forgot that this is where we were. Oh man, this will wake me up, hopefully. So I'm going to send out notifications real quick, and then we'll get going. Alright. Whew. So how has everybody been doing tonight? I started playing Division 2 again today, and I'm actually really pleased with the update that they did. They made build crafting not so intimidating. Hey, Austin. Kolov, I used to be able to pull all-nighters all the time. But I can still do it, but I pay the cost the next day, you know? We'll get going here in just a second. I got one more thing to send out. And boom, let's go. Alright, so disclaimer. This is my favorite action segment of the game that I remember. This is a segment that I did not forget.
Go it alone, Mr. Bronson. Shut up and shoot. Ow!
My
We
gosh.
have to fight them off. I can set off more of the fireworks from here and help you out.
Whew.
Hey, Al, you notice there's a lot of ammo and stuff around? This place is stopped. Al, hold on.
Oof.
I'll try to get the stage lights on.
It's such a good song. This is Children of the Elder God, I believe. Oh, it's a lantern. Oh, you douche.
Yes! Here we go! Barry Wheeler to
Hey,
the
Kayla.
rescue! Oh, damn it! I can't turn the sentry wiring! Hang on, Al! I'll get them working again, I promise!
This is great. If you guys like this song, Poets of the Fall is the name of the artist. The song is Children of the Elder God. So great.
Al, stay in the light!
He's
No, no, no! Why do you keep doing this to me? Do it for Barry, please, please, please!
I'm not sure, Kaylin. YouTube does things that does not do things it's supposed to do sometimes.
Al, there's no one dying. Although if I buy it, this is pretty much
That sounds like a terrible idea, Koloff. Oh, shoot. Got him.
There! Back in the game! Yes!
Give me that thermos. Whew. Oh, man. Oh, yeah. Ow. What? Why did the shed explode?
That was awesome!
That really was awesome.
Bright Falls, rock and roll capital of America.
Oh, man. That was even better than I remember it.
Hey, Al! This way to the farm!
Hunting rifle's kind of low, so yeah. Pump action's gonna be good. So how are you guys doing tonight? How much you want to bet it's gonna take this amazing flashlight away from me, like almost instantly? This game likes to do that. Where did I put my phone? There it is. Need to make sure this was put on Facebook. One second, guys. I just posted to Facebook. Come watch me point a flashlight to a song called Children of the Elder God. I'm not joking. I'm not making this up. Started the Bible again. I was told it's not meant to be read cover to cover, so I'm reading from Mark first. I think that's the story of Jesus. Paul says, I'll get to that in a second, Caitlin. Killed a scarecrow and then woke up in the dream, and then I woke up in a dream again, and then time turned to 6:34, and then I actually woke up. Good Lord, Koloff, don't do that to yourself. So, Kaylin, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John are all the story of Jesus, but they're told from different accounts. Mark is a really good place to start as like a first first outing to reading one of the Gospels.
Bestseller, no reason to worry.
So Mark is a
Your
good place to
cutout's
start.
good as new, right where I left
I'll explain
it.
the differences
I'll come
later.
back for it once we have the place secured.
Yeah, that's been my biggest worry all this time. We need to get this thing moved out of the way.
This is as far as I got before they ambushed me.
Still got the freaking cardboard cutout. But for someone who is new to the Bible, Mark is a really good place to start. Because a lot of people do read cover to cover, and it's a bit intense because you start with the Old Testament, and it's very different. Where am I going? Oh, did I see paint? I thought I saw paint. Yeah, we'll talk off stream. Maybe in a voice chat tomorrow or something. I need to like figure out your schedule, Kaylin. So even though you can't tune into some streams, we can at least chat and I can hear your life's going.
I'm Alan Wake. I'm always right about everything. And if I don't get my way, I'll sulk all day long. I'm always intense and moody. It makes me very attractive and mysterious. Right now, I'm just standing here because I need my best friend Barry to carry me. But that's okay. I can just take him for granted.
I think I see what you did there.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
You want me to do my imitation of Barry Wheeler? No? Thought so.
Just murdered him. Yeah, understanding the Old Testament can be easier, Kaylin, if you understand
They really went all out with this Viking crap, didn't they?
Jesus and his time here.
Look at all this stuff. They must have done okay for themselves. So how come I never heard of these guys before?
But
And
again,
this from the guy who learned about
I'm here
Ozzy
to answer any
Osbourne
questions.
through reality TV?
I don't have all the answers, but I'll give it my best. And if I don't have an answer, I will ask somebody that I work with who, you know, got a degree in knowing those kinds of answers, or at least having an answer. Andrew's gonna be so disappointed when he hears that Children of the Elder Gods already done. Oh my gosh, just... Oh, there's stairs literally right there. Night Springs? Yes!
We all spend a third
Oh,
of our
Night
dreams in its
Springs.
soft embrace,
Man,
somewhere
brings back
between
memories.
fantasy and
Hey,
oblivion.
remember when I got you that gig?
Shut up, Barry, the show's
Little
on.
writing
Forcing
job. What got you
themselves into
started?
waking life,
Was this one of
or
your
vice
episodes?
versa. In Night Springs. Tonight's episode, The Dream of Dreams.
That's by someone else.
Shut up!
We join Mr. Jones as he explores the endless dreamscape, only to be brought to a sudden stop by a decidedly mundane situation. A long line of people.
Hey, Jones, right? Listen, we're gonna have to wait until His Highness over there is good and ready.
Oh, wow. Who's that?
You don't know him? What are you, new? He's the guy dreaming us. Well, not just us. He dreams everything. All of this.
But wait, no. I'm the one who's dreaming. I'm asleep. Isn't this my dream?
Oh, yeah. Sure. Get real, pal. You're just another dream. I'm a dream. You're a dream. The weirdo in the diving suit is a dream. And the girl made of smiles and sunshine is definitely a dream.
But I'm pretty sure I'm dreaming this.
Well, maybe you're a really confused dream. What am I, a shrink? All I know is I'm going with the smart guys, and they say that's the guy doing the dreaming. Right there.
I don't know what that means.
It means we keep him happy. No sudden falls. We make sure he has his clothes on when he goes out in public. No chases where the monster is nipping at his heels and he runs like crazy, but his legs don't seem to get him anywhere. None of that. Because if he wakes up in a cold sweat, yeah, precisely. So we wait till he wants to move on. Keep things nice and calm.
Hey, something's happening here.
Yeah?
Oh no.
What's that?
The dreamer's gonna wake up.
Can't you hear that?
His alarm clock's going off.
God help us, it's an alarm clock. Oh, it sure is.
God help us, it's an alarm clock.
Please don't wake.
No! This game is such a gem. Control is a sequel to Alan Wake, so is Alan Wake a prequel? That depends on how you gauge a prequel. Like, would Star Wars Episode 4 be a prequel of Star Wars Episode 5? I don't know, because they came out in order, so it depends on your definition of what makes a prequel a prequel. A bunch of Viking stuff here. Also, Austin just told us that he snorted snow once, or that a friend did, and now you're telling me you guys snorted Kool-Aid. Like,
It's 1976.
What's wrong with you
Madness
guys?
reigns at the Anderson farm. Contrary to all logic, the headiest ingredient of their moonshine is unfiltered water from Cauldron Lake. The Andersons feel like gods. Odin can't stop laughing. He contemplates cutting his eye out. Thor runs across the field, naked, shrieking, hammer in his hand, trying to catch lightning. Their songs have power. Something ancient is stirring in the depths, coming back.
gosh, that's so metal. the Anderson brothers, if I'm interpreting this correctly,
The Viking
were...
boat looked imposing, almost like a battering ram.
Ah, I see. The Anderson brothers were being used by the darkness at one point with their creativity, because the darkness feeds on creativity. But the darkness was using that, so like their music was literally like harnessing the power of the gods. How metal is that? Oh god, don't snort cinnamon. That's the worst thing you can snort. One of the worst things you can snort.
Oh, good going, Al.
Oh, for a second I thought I had a drum mag on this thing, but it was just the flashlight. That's fine, Barry. I've got it. Where's Barry?
I think we can make it through here, Al.
I don't like that. What is going on with him? Chickens, save me. Are we in the middle of episode 3 or 4? Oh, we're in the middle of episode 4. How about that? So we might finish it tonight? I don't know. Maybe if I touch that wire, I will become light itself. Also, don't think I didn't see you, cans. Goodness. Honestly, Kaylin, it's aged beautifully. Like, the gameplay is fresh enough, like, it's serviceable, but, like, the story and the writing, it's, like, it's cheesy and weird, but it's extremely intentional with its cheesiness and weirdness in such a creative way that, like, what a lot of people may consider a weakness if they don't get it, I consider one of the game's greatest strengths. See you on the other side, Koloff. By the other side, I mean Saturday evening. Oh, okay. I thought you meant, like, literally just now you guys were like, hey, let's down an entire thing of that. Also, don't do that. That's a bad idea. Oh, there's Barry. Yeah, I think Kaylin and I were on the same page there. I'll be honest, though, regarding this game, I'm really struggling to write the review. Just because... Hold on, I gotta make sure this mouse is okay. I've just got so much to say, you know, and I need to stay on message. And I thought it was bad with JK2, but oh man. this game is gonna have me.
Wow! Those
Rambling.
geezers had quite a production going on. Ooh, you know what, Al? If we make it through this alive, I'm gonna start representing them. Yep, sell this stuff online, maybe get a reality show going, release a new single.
Good luck with that, pal.
Hey, you find us a way out of here, okay? I'm gonna take a closer look at this stuff.
Where
The door was barred from the other side.
Where are the-
I'd have to find another way.
the old gods? Because they were last at the mental institution.
Be careful, Al!
Gosh, Kolov.
Whoa! You okay, Al?
I'm good. Keep your eyes open, okay?
Honestly, Kalen, I feel like giving myself limits like that would just make it worse. Because then it's like, I have to be like, oh, well, I have to pick and choose what to talk about then. Like, you know, so with what I did with JK2 was I just kind of wrote the script. I think it was 6 pages, something like that. And that ended up being like, my absolute max was going to be 15 minutes. And I ended up knocking out pretty quickly. It was like another heavy duty later. Nice. It was like 8 minutes with my first read. Oh no, this is the last radio.
As you regular listeners know, I tend to work through the night, but I'm not the only one. Deputies Mulligan and Thornton are taking a couple of moments off their busy schedule to join me here in the studio. Boys, how busy are you now? Deerfest is almost here, isn't it? I bet that keeps you in business.
Pretty busy, yeah. Actually, Pat, we've been real busy with other stuff, which concerns an ongoing investigation. We can't talk about that, Thornton. I wasn't gonna say anything. I was just saying we got, other irons to fry.
And how would you compare your workload to last year's? Things have seemed relatively peaceful to me, but people do tend to get a little wild this time of year.
Oh, it's wild, Pat. It's pretty wild. There's been all sorts of trouble this year. Vandalism, fighting, public disturbances. A lot of people gone missing, too. Yeah, it's pretty much the usual stuff, Pat. Just, a lot more of it.
Now, is it just me, or does Deerfest get wilder every year? People seem to be more drunk, at least, or they start earlier and younger.
Oh, it's definitely not just you, Pat, but... Definitely, Pat. Hey, I'm talking here, Thornton. Oh, shoot, I lost my train of thought.
Not just me.
Oh, yeah, it's wilder, Pat, but actually most of the trouble seems to be coming from grown men. People who ought to know better, Kids are doing fine this year.
Well, that's nice to hear at least. Boys, I want to thank you for stopping by. I'll let you get back to your patrol.
Sure thing, Pat. Yeah, sure thing, Pat.
I guess Pat's okay then. We stream another after this event. I don't. It's gonna be a full length stream if I finish it tonight. But there are 2 episodes, I think. Either that or it's 1 episode with 2 chapters that are DLC that I was not planning on doing. So if I finish tonight, I may do the DLC tomorrow. Who knows? For those, Kalen, I'm just going to play them best I can. I'm fully expecting to not be able to beat most of the games. It's just kind of worked out so far that the games I've been picking have been relatively short.
I could see the building that had to be the Andersons' home on the other side of the field. It wasn't far now. I wasn't worried about trusting the ramblings of 2 burned-out geriatric wrecks. They had the goods.
Okay, we could have just pushed it, but alright. have been getting some good suggestions for forward compatible though, for future installments. So I've been pleased that.
You've got to be kidding me.
Oh no! Please not the tractor. No. Oh. I don't even think that's a tractor. I don't know what that is. Okay, I guess that thing's not scared of flares. Okay. Ever been accidentally killed by a farming vehicle? Ah, man. How many flashbangs? I got only 2? Oof.
You've got to be kidding me.
Oh my gosh, move, Alan! Good. Oh, hey guys. Yeah, I actually did have a dress code. It was less of a dress code where you have to wear X. It was more of like you can't wear your pajamas. You know, my mom wasn't real lax with the whole homeschooling thing. We had to be dressed as if we were going out before we went upstairs to do our work. Let's see if there's anything to loot around here. If you're just tuning in, don't be shy. Come say hi. That'd be real swell. Jared, you missed the most metal scene of pretty much anything ever. Oh, and hello, Hayes. So we ended last night on the stage of the Old Gods of Asgard. The old Anderson brothers, the 2 geezers that insist they were, metal gods. We ended last night on their stage, and we picked it up with that battle. And honestly, you guys should just go back and watch it. After the fact, because it's great. The music that plays in it's good. It's funny. It's epic. It's great. It was a song called "Children of the Elder God." Or Elder Gods by Poets of the Fall. It's an actual song you can look up.
Yeah, it's me. Hang
yes,
on.
Hayes.
I'll try to find a key to get the door open.
I needed a key to get the door open. Or you could just shoot it with your shotgun.
Hey, what's the holdup? Come on, this place is all dusty. You know I got my allergies.
Don't do it, Hayes. Don't you do it. Don't you do it. I know what you're gonna do. Don't you dare.
Come on. Seriously, I don't like it in here.
No, Hayes, I'm not. I am not the Queen of Thieves. Therefore, I am not the Mississippi Queen.
Hey, let's go,
now
man.
that song is stuck in my head. Thanks. I would have done the same thing, Hayes. I'm proud of you for your commitment.
We're gonna have to work together to open this gate, Al. Looks pretty heavy.
Really?
Ah! Hey,
Barry.
on the other side of the field. We're almost there. This farm is a crazy place for crazy people.
We should feel right at home then.
Can we just go back to the stage and fight more bad guys? I just want to do that on repeat for an entire stream.
Come on, one more gig. Let's do this thing.
Oh, that's a chainsaw. That's a big chainsaw.
The lights are out. I guess we better check the fuse
Oh,
box.
old gods of Asgard. In the valley of my shadow. Have I ever recorded a shotgun wedding? So I've heard that term. What makes a wedding a shotgun wedding? Also, that's pretty great.
The power downstairs was out, but I was sure I could fix that at the fuse box.
Hear that? Is that really what a shotgun wedding is? Huh. I guess that makes sense.
You know, this place looks kind of lived in. I thought the Andersons were in the booby hatch.
Old gods know
Come on, Al,
Just
let's
think
light
they
is
keep
too
close an eye
powerful.
on them at the clinic. They seem to slip away a lot so they can get wasted.
I have never recorded one of those.
Those guys sound awesome.
Again, Alice's screams rang in the stillness of the night. I saw myself run toward the cabin, flashlight in my hand. I followed my past self. I was an out-of-body observer, a time traveler in a crazy drunken dream. This was the beginning. The night Alice had disappeared. The mystery of what had happened during the missing week was about to reveal itself.
Hold on just a sec. Okay, that's really cool. I thought that said kick the fuse.
Can you hear that, Al? Music?
Of course. We need to find where it's coming from. That's the message the Andersons talked about. That's the whole reason we're here.
Lady of the
Okay,
Light?
probably turn the
That's gotta
flashlights
be-
off.
What's her face? The crazy lamp lady from the town.
Cynthia Weaver.
Right. Must be.
They literally recorded a song. Do you think they won awards for this song?
Okay.
We need to find Cynthia Weaver. We'll stay here for the night and head back to town as soon as it gets light.
Hey, Al. Lots of hours before dawn. Might as well get some rest. And by rest, I mean drunk.
Come on, Barry, this is... Yeah, what the hell?
It's not a story about a washed-up rider if he doesn't get drunk at least once.
I know we don't get along, but we're gonna find her, right? Even though you're a crazy bastard, I'm gonna stick by you, no matter what, ever, Al. Sure, like a brother.
I'm a writer, goddammit. If I just wanted to, I could write 10 books a year. And they'd be the best books that year.
No, you couldn't.
That's right, I couldn't. But I could, because I'm a writer.
What? What do they put in this stuff?
I feel like my brain is coming out of my nose.
Alcohol, Barry. That's called
I
alcohol.
want to get the recipe off those coots and be a booze millionaire.
I just miss her, Barry. I just want her here with me.
I know, Al. I know. It's gonna be okay. We're gonna make it okay.
Turns out the villain's been the cardboard cutout this whole time. Actually, if I remember right, that's not far from the truth. What? It was probably a kind of moonshine, Hayes. The Andersons made. Oh, wait. Didn't they say earlier that I'm literally having an out-of-body experience while dreaming?
Alice, I'm coming. It's all right. I'm coming.
It was a crazy drunken dream, and yet it was more than that. It was the truth, a suppressed memory unearthed by the Andersons' moonshine. I was there, an out-of-body observer. This was the night Alice and I had arrived at Bright Falls, the night Alice had disappeared. I had a chance to find out what had happened. I remembered being surprised to see the cabin dark. Alice would have never turned the lights off.
So, in one of the manuscripts, I think it said that the moonshine that the Andersons made, part of the recipe is just straight up water from Cauldron Lake.
Alice!
Which is, we know, is kind of a supernatural force anyway.
I remembered thinking, I caught a glimpse of her form underwater, sinking into the darkness. Diving after her was the last vague memory I had of that night. After that, the next thing I could remember was waking up behind the wheel of the crash car and finding the first pages of the manuscript. I couldn't find her in all that blackness. I must have thought she drowned.
Alice!
Jagger had Alice, and so she had me.
Alice!
I'd been easy prey.
Look at the cabin. Is there someone in the window?
Alice?
Maybe she didn't drown after all. Maybe she's inside.
Alice!
Yes.
The dark presence had touched me. She had dug her nails into my brain and used me, made me her puppet.
It's trippy.
She must be here somewhere. Maybe upstairs in the study.
Alice!
Yes, that's where she is. You can apologize.
Alice!
You'll laugh at the whole thing together and put it behind you.
Alice?
She's not here. You were foolish to think so. No, she's dead. She drowned.
Gosh, what a jerk.
No, no, no!
It's your fault your wife is dead. You are guilty. All she wanted was to help you right. You killed her.
Ah!
Oh, hush. There's still hope. Cauldron Lake is a special place. Here, you have the power to change things. She wanted you to write. I will tell you what to do. You can write her back. The story will come true, and all will be well again.
She had Alice, and the manuscript was the ransom for her.
Yes,
All right. I'll fix it. I'll bring her back.
Oh my god. Whew!
No. I wrote it. I remembered it all now. In the dark, I'd written for days, a week, almost a complete manuscript of a novel entitled Departure. Jagger had been my editor, whispering in my ear, making sure that the unfolding story would make her more and more powerful. I thought I was saving Alice. Even with the cobweb she put in my head, some part of me had been aware enough to write my escape into the story, to bring a light into the cabin to release me before I could finish, to interrupt the horror story before the ending, where darkness consumed everything and everyone. Zane was weak and far away, but I had written him into the story, and his light had been enough to set me free.
It isn't here now. I'm here because it was written. I brought the light to set you free. You must hurry. It will know I'm here. It will be back soon. It stole the skin of my Barbara a long time ago. She looks so old.
What a weird thing to say.
I had woken up, confused and groggy, my mind consumed by darkness and fear. All I could do was to escape.
Barbara!
The week spent in the cabin had taken its toll. I was barely conscious and fading fast. It had to have cost Zane terribly, thrown him even deeper into whatever dark place he now haunted. But he had managed to weaken the dark presence, kept me safe that night. I wrote it. It's my fault.
That's right, James Joyce. It's your fault, and you're gonna pay for it.
And that's episode 4. But the stream is not ending. We're gonna keep on going. Alright, I'll look at the chat real quick. This is more Pose of the Fall. Probably need a copyright claim. But Kaylin, my project is, I think it's Pose of the Fall. My project's not really moving right now, but this game's definitely helping me, I think. But we'll talk more about that off stream.
Previously on Alan Wake. Under the influence of the dark presence, I wrote a horror story that is coming true. Jagger had been my editor, making sure that the unfolding story would make her more and more powerful. Some part of me had been aware enough to write my escape into the story.
Together we can create something absolutely wonderful.
The lake, it does something to the works of art created here. It makes them come true. My mom gave me this old light switch.
The clicker.
Alice is being kept in a dark prison. I need to find Cynthia Weaver to fix this.
It's your fault, and you're gonna pay for it.
I'll do a quick synopsis after this cutscene, guys, so that we're all caught up and understand what's happening.
To break the record set by last year's Moose Fest in our neighboring town, Watery. Ladies and gentlemen, some people have asked me, what's the big deal about Deer Fest? And I think that this sums it up. It's about friendship and community. We've got a great party coming up. Let's try to hold it in until tomorrow and get through the night in one piece, all right?
Someone will come for it when the time is right. Thomas said so. He wrote it. The key is insurance. It's my job to keep it safe. Safe in the light. Always in the light.
All the manuscript pages were gone. The FBI agent had taken them.
Okay. We're going to talk through this real quick, just to give a brief summary of what's going on in the story. Alan is a once successful writer who has been down on his luck writing for the past 2 years. So he hasn't written anything in 2 years, and he is very hard on himself. Like he might be alcoholic. There's a tension on him and his wife's relationship. His wife's name is Alice. And so they decide to go on vacation. This place called Bright Falls. That's the town that we're currently in. When we get there, we find out he's just trying to escape from the pressure, and Alice is trying to inspire him, trying to help him achieve the greatness that she knows he is capable of achieving once again. Once they arrive, Alan has a nightmare that I believe he said was a recurring nightmare. That's the first gameplay segment that I did, where the guy was chasing me, telling me my writing was trash. In that dream, the beam from heaven that sent down the flashlight and the gun, that was Thomas Zane. But I'll get to him in a second. The darkness was also there in the dream. That's what was chasing me. So the darkness is this woman named Barbara. Cynthia's the other lady. Barbara was taken by this dark entity that we think the Cauldron Lake is possessed, and Barbara, she's basically a husk of who she was, and the darkness controls her. Zane was a poet back in the he was probably earlier than the 70s. Maybe he was 70s. It's kind of hazy. I don't know the whole story, but it's unfolding. So Thomas Zane's the guy in the diver suit. When we arrive to our cabin in Cauldron Lake, that's where we just had the out-of-body experience, Alan finds literature written by a Thomas Zane. And he and Alice have a fight once he finds out that Alice is trying to get him to write again. And he storms off. She gets kidnapped by Barbara, the darkness. And Alan jumps into the water to find her, and that's what we just saw was the out-of-body experience. And so Barbara basically tells him, "Oh, you could save her if you write, to basically write her back into the story." So the Cauldron Lake is haunted, supernatural, something we don't know exactly, but the creative works made in Bright Falls because of Cauldron Lake come true. That's why the Anderson brothers, the children of the old gods of Asgard, the two old geezers, that's why their music was successful, and I think they actually could create storms with their music, crazy stuff like that. And they made moonshine from water from Cauldron Lake, so that somehow synthesized their music. It's very hand wavy, but you need to just more so understand the overall idea of what's going on. So, and this is the most important factor of the story. Alan used the typewriter, which is an object of power according to Control, which means it is inherently supernatural. It may be because of the water, we don't know, to write the story of what would happen for the coming days. He was writing for 7 days. From when he jumped in the water, he blacked out and then woke up in the car 7 days later. During that 7 days that he missed, he was writing. The darkness was trying to manipulate him to write the story to make the darkness more powerful. Basically, if Alan is able to use this typewriter to write reality, basically to make reality bend to the will of the writer, the darkness is trying to get out of its cage, and Alan is the vehicle through his writing. So Alan writes himself into the story. He becomes kind of the variable, like the thing that can change the outcome from being the darkness wins to the darkness is stopped. Later, Koloff, thanks for watching. So everything that we've seen from that evening, when Alan blacked out, everything from that point onward has been written by Alan. He has basically made an entire script for all the events that would take place. That's why the kidnapper that said that he took Alice, that was just a random guy that Alan saw on the ferry. He just used him as an inspiration for a random villain. So he basically is weaving this giant plot together, trying to find a way out of the end goal being the darkness wins. And Thomas Zane, he wrote him into the story as well. That's the scuba diver suit guy with the light. And he is how the manuscript pages found themselves where they did. Because Alan wrote that Thomas Zane dropped them there. So all of the hand-wavy, oh, there's ammo there, so there's a boss fight, like everything about this being a video game is able to be explained away because Alan wrote everything. Which is super meta, and I love it. So the manuscript pages are left where they were, basically so that Alan, who was writing everything, could warn the Alan that we're playing of what's to come, so his odds would be better. Does that all make sense? I feel like I talked a lot, and I don't feel like that really helped at all.
I think my tongue just took a crap in my mouth.
That's disgusting.
Oh, wait, we're in jail now? Ow. Ow, this is not good.
That about sums it up.
Nothing came out.
Oh, I am never drinking again.
I need to talk to Weaver. She's the one in the song.
If I need to explain anything else, just ask and I'll do my best.
What, the crazy lady? Ugh, whatever you say, Al, but we're stuck here. They're not gonna...
I had some reading to do first, Sheriff, and let me tell you.
Yes, so as I've said before, this is the last thing I'll say. This game is it takes place before Control, but it is in the same universe. It's technically a prequel, I guess, because the Bright Falls incident, everything happening with the darkness, was an altered world event. So the Federal Bureau of Control in Control had agents studying it. And then Alan Wake actually was considered for the position of director of the FBC. So this game is very connected to Control, in that altered world event in Bright Falls, and the typewriter is considered an object of power. So it fits in really well. So you could technically look at this, and I think it's funny how it's almost like they planned this all along with it being in the universe of Control. But Alan Wake is just one of the many stories of the FBC. And it's almost like we're watching an episode of The Twilight Zone or Night Springs. And that could be why we see episodes of Night Springs on, because it's like one reported story of a much grander universe of different supernatural incidents.
It was an interesting read. Well, I've got you now, Raymond Chandler. It's all here. All the evidence, including conspiracy to murder a federal agent. There's no way you're walking out of here. You hear me in there, Bret Easton Ellis? Huh?
Agent Nightingale, I want to talk to your superior.
Well, we all want things, Sheriff. I wanted my... Look,
Federal Bureau of Control is the FBC.
Agent Nightingale, I insist.
And yes, it's basically the SCP.
Wake, what's wrong?
Lady, are you stupid? It's a trick. It's an obvious trick.
Okay, I've had enough of this crap. Wake, I'm gonna trust you with this.
You're joking.
Agent Nightingale, your opinion would matter more if you were sober and if I actually believed you were here on official business.
Whoa! Get back in the cell, Stephen King. The only way you're leaving this place is over my dead... Wait a minute. I know.
Oh, no.
Oh, my God.
Light. We need light. It's the only way to fight this thing.
In my office. I've got your things there. Follow me.
Oh man, we're sitting ducks with the light.
Control is a sequel to Alan Wake.
Nightingale tried to make sense of the manuscript. It was disjointed and strange. He didn't understand half of it, but it all rang true. Impossibly true. He took out his hip flask when he reached the page that described how he reached the page that made him take out his hip flask. It wasn't a booze that made his mind real.
God, I love this game. It's so... It's so meta.
Stay cool. I can get the emergency.
Nightingale felt the situation veering out of his control, but the gun at least felt steady in his hands. He was ready to fire, resolved that he would let this happen over his dead body. And yet he hesitated. He had seen this moment before, read it in the page. He was transfixed by the deja vu and the horror that he was a character in a story someone had written. Then the monstrous presence burst in behind him and dragged him into the night.
Oh my gosh, this is getting out of hand and I love it. So Nightingale, and this is where it gets kind of interesting and kind of questionable. Nightingale and the guy on the ferry, the kidnapper, and Dr. Hartman. The question here is, were they really villains? Or did Alan write them as villains and change their fate for his own means? So in a way, Alan is kind of a villain. Because, at least how I'm interpreting it, those characters specifically, they were probably completely different people. And he bent them to his perception of them and basically used them as pawns on a chessboard to get the story where he needed it to be. It's crazy.
Here are your things. Wait, what do I need to know? What do you need?
They can be
I had
in the
a
light, only in the light, and I need to find Cynthia.
I had like a
She can help me
mag
stop
light.
this.
This is a
Light. Check. Cynthia. She lives in the old decommissioned power plant. I can get you there
Completely
pretty
different.
quickly in the rescue chopper. Come on.
Give me this
Let's get back to
pathetic
your
little
phone.
flashlight. I have the sun at my fingertips, and you're gonna send me out there with this
I need you to stay
candle.
here.
What? No.
We're going to fetch our ride, but I have friends who need to be warned about this, and I can't be in two places at once. I need your help.
Well, okay.
Okay.
Here's a list of people and phone numbers. I need you to call them and tell them you have a message from me. Night Springs, okay? They'll know what to do.
Night
Springs? Like the TV show? Gotcha. Oh, hey, that radio guy is on the list. Maine. Who's Frank Breaker? He related to you?
My dad.
Hey, is this like a secret society?
Can you do this? You'll be safe here. The backup power's on. These guys need to be alerted, just in case we don't come back.
You'll come back for me though, right?
As soon as we get the chopper ready. Thanks, Wheeler. I owe you one.
A chopper sounds like a
Okay,
terrible
let's
idea.
go, Wake. Through the back.
My hangover wants a pizza. You think there's any way I could order?
Shut up, Barry. Don't be a stereotype. Tell the other toilet what you saw here.
Oh,
Nice.
hell. Whatever took Nightingale must have broken the gate controls. We can't reach the gate's control box from here. We need to get to the other side over the rooftop.
I'll go. I'll open the gate for you once I'm across. You stay here in the light and cover me, Sheriff, okay?
So I was here during the day. Oh, jump back over. Gotta check for more thermoses. Thermosi.
I needed to reach the rooftop to get to the other side of the broken
Oh,
gate.
birds. Had to be birds. Batteries? Yes. Also, I had like 20 batteries. She only gave me like 14. Oh, hey guys. And so these notes that have been left in the yellow paint, that was the woman with the light at the deer diner, the one that wouldn't go into the dark hallway. And so again, this is one of those times where I have to question: was she always like? At that point, was she already this person who was leaving, like, basically dwelling in the lighthouse, leaving these notes to fight the darkness, stuff like that? Or did Alan take this random old woman he saw in the diner, who he saw being afraid of the dark and always having a lantern, and did he just elaborate on that and write her as this character who fought the darkness with all these different means, as like a off-screen guardian of sorts? I like to think it's that, because that's just really cool. We done? Okay. If light and dark is a metaphor for good and evil, would you only have color in a reality without light and dark? And if so, what is the equivalent of color in the absence of good and evil?
Hey, Sheriff! Your password. Night Springs? What's that all about?
It's a stupid joke we have. That Bright Falls is the original inspiration for the TV show. This town can get weird at times. Never this weird, though.
Oh, I should hope not. I'm not sure how to answer that, Kaylin. That's a very interestingly posed question, though.
I couldn't leave without the sheriff. She was my ticket to Weaver.
What am I, an electrician? Hold on!
Ah, damn! That's smart.
That's smart.
Okay, stick close. Our first stop is the town hall. The keys to the chopper are there.
I'm gonna run this way, and I'm gonna see if there's any special stuff. All right. This is pretty cool, having someone fight alongside me that has both a light and a gun. Okay. Oh no! Ooh, that's smarts. quicker on the draw than me. If you're just tuning in, welcome to Alan Wake. Don't be shy, say hi in the chat. We have nice people here.
Over here, Wake! The chopper's in the other direction!
One moment. I'm looking for paper. I guess a flare gun will have to do. Nope. That was just a reflection. Got me good. This game can actually hurt your eyes sometimes because of the contrasting light. Oh. Maybe through here?
The air smelled of fish. This was Bright Falls industrial area. There was probably a cannery nearby.
I hope she can't die. This is kind of tough. Sarah, come help. What killed you, Hayes? Look at that jump. The combat's pretty good. Oh, there's the Bright's Diner. Wait, I thought it was the Oh Dear Diner. Yeah, it's definitely the diner. Wow, people were gearing up to go to war.
I'm gonna want explanations, you know. For example, what the hell happened to Rose? She's seriously messed up now.
The same thing I think happened to me after I arrived.
During this week, you can't remember?
Oh, I remember now.
So anyway, here's Wonderwall. It's gotta takes a minute to play. Oh, it's Coconut. Sorry. Apparently that's the only song this jukebox is able to play.
Barry was in his element, making calls, making things happen, even if he didn't entirely know what those things were. He wouldn't let the hot sheriff chick go. Even if every noise he heard from outside, and he heard plenty, made him jump. He had only paused to text Al a message, told him to hurry up. Suddenly, Barry froze in mid-dial. A window broke somewhere in the building, and then the lights went out.
No, Barry! I don't even want to, like, try taking a crack at that one, Caleb. Ask me when I've had a good night's sleep. My mind's basically already exploded like 3 times from this. Okay.
And I thought
Damn, girl. I bet Alan thought of that line and was like, I'm gonna be the one to say that. Like he originally gave that to Sarah, and he was like, oh, it's a really good line. That's more of an Alan line. I don't even need to shoot anything. She's got it under control. Ooh.
Wake, over here! There's light! I have a key. Watch my back, Wake.
Okay. Oh no, she's gonna not shoot things.
It's an ambush.
It's a car! Oh wait, no, it's actually... Got it. Oh, she's still gonna do everything. Got it. Oof. Shoot him! Shoot him! Shoot him! Shoot him! Of course, when I raise my gun, it's... Oof. So that dude with the chainsaw was just waiting there inside the truck. Got it. Because Alan was probably like, this fight scene needs more stakes. Let's put a chainsaw guy in that truck. What? What? What hit me? There was nothing. Ooh, 3 flares. Okay. Can't jump.
Okay, someone's messed with the fuse box here, but you should be able to jury rig
Kick it.
while I find the keys.
I already got electrocuted once today. How about I look for the keys and you get burned for a change?
Fine. They should be in the clerk's office on the other side of the building, near the main entrance.
The darkness that wore Barbara Jagger's face was furious. The story in the manuscript had been making it stronger all the time, but now the light had set the writer free and hurt it, weakened it. It was only a matter of days before the dark presence would be strong again. But meanwhile, it would be difficult to recapture the writer. The message was from Barry. He was getting worried at the station. He wanted us to hurry.
The keys aren't upstairs, Wake.
I'm just gonna take a quick look.
There might be paper up here. Didn't think about that, did ya? Flare gun. Yes. Do you think Alan's over here just like, man, Ryder me is such a dick for making that guy scare me like that by falling in through the ceiling? Yes, Night Springs!
A fusion of vigilance, conscience, and uncompromising clarity of vision. A need so fundamental, it permeates our very being. And yet, a man may be brought to his knees in a single heartbeat. In Night Springs. Tonight's episode, taken in his prime. For young Manny, the night hasn't been kind. He's a marked man, selected for a lifetime of servitude after answering an ad in the newspaper. But first, a little field surgery is required.
Well, well, look what I found.
Ah, please, no!
Yeah, I think you're just about ready for it.
Best if you don't resist this, kid. We gotta beat it out of you.
What? I don't understand. What did I do? I just wanted to get a job in the service industry.
Well, you're gonna serve all right.
No! Please!
There it is. It's coming out now. Right between the self-esteem and the childhood traumas.
What are you doing to me?
Quit squirming. There, I got it. Believe me, kid, this free will thing is more trouble than it's worth.
What was that?
Oh, nothing for you to worry about, Manny.
I don't know what I'm supposed to do.
We'll tell you all about that. Don't you worry.
Another vacant worker ant, birthed in fury and violence for the pleasure and convenience of ruthless and malicious men. Stranger things can happen in Night Springs.
I really hope that one of these episodes of Night Springs is just me. You know? Like, actually Alan Wake and what has been going on. That'd be really funny. Oh. Oof. Oh, man. So, Dr. Darling from Control is the voice actor that is Alan Wake is also Dr. Darling, but also they got the same person from the live action Alan Wake stuff, I think, to portray Dr. Darling's TV scenes in Control. So it's a weird decision because like they exist in the same universe. So I don't know, but yeah, Darling from Control is a reference to Alan Wake.
Barry?
Why isn't he inside?
Oh gosh.
Oh God.
No, Barry.
Barry, look out! Barry, move! Barry!
He made it inside, Wake. He's okay. The storefront's blocked. Come on, Wake. Let's go around. We can meet him in the back.
But what if Barry got taken? Trust no one in the dark. So who all's still here? I assume Hayes and Kaylin, you guys are still here?
Right there.
Every freaking time.
We can make it through the bookstore. Wheeler should be waiting for us in the backyard.
Get the hell down or I'll call the sheriff.
Oh, hi, Doc. I've got it. Don't worry about it.
Really?
Sarah, about time somebody showed up. All this shooting in the air is idiotic. One of these days they'll kill somebody. And over Deerfest.
I know. Go back to bed. He's got a point, Wade. Look, this town can't take this.
It's me they want. The sooner I get out of here, the sooner you can all get back to life as usual.
Of course, it'd
I
be a
hope you're
bookstore.
right. Come on, let me get this door open.
Wait, you got the keys to the bookstore?
Perks of being the sheriff. A girl needs to get around.
So here's what's interesting. Featured book of the month is an Alan Wake book, but he hasn't written anything in over 2 years. So did Alan write into the story that the book of the month would be his own book?
Really taking advantage of your presence here, Wake. I heard they're selling a lot of your Alex Casey books.
Oh, okay. They just explained it. It's because they heard that he was here, so they put up the posters. All right, I'll be right back.
Cynthia Weaver worked hard, following her obsessive rituals, sometimes fighting them, always giving in to them in the end. She haunted the halls of Bright Falls' abandoned power plant. She marked her caches with light-sensitive paint that could only be seen by eyes that had been touched by darkness and saved by light like she'd been. She was preparing defenses and supply lines for the war she knew would come. The war between the forces of light and darkness.
Alright, I'm back. What'd I miss? Someone read that.
Right now, I'm not a big fan of
manuscript
my own
page to me.
writing.
Yeah, but Death Stranding sounds like it's, if it's going to be meta, it's going to be the obnoxious kind of meta. Like, this game doesn't, like, if you're trying to explain this game, you could explain away the cheesy dialogue and stuff by saying that Alan Wake's just not a good dialogue writer. And it elevates the game because they don't try to explain it away. It's more so implied, but, like, Death Stranding feels like it's going to probably draw attention to it because Hideo Kojima loves the smell of his own farts, so which is probably why there are poop bombs. Okay. What am I doing? Oh, following her. So she shut the door behind her, expecting me to follow. Okay.
I don't see Barry.
Look, wait, maybe that's him. That's the way to the chopper.
Oh, hey, Jared. I really need to start using my flare gun. What was that? Oh, heck yes. Sarah, push me. I'm going to keep doing this till she comments on it or I get a trophy. Whichever one happens first. Fine. Gonna... She's not even gonna comment on it. Yeah, that made me dizzy too, Galen. That's why I stopped. I see a thing. Oh, heck yes, I'll take a hunting rifle. Is there any more ammo around here? I'm gonna, just make sure.
Barry got back to his feet inside the Bright Falls General Store and dusted himself off. Right next to the cans of baked beans was a locked case filled with flare guns, and yet here was a conveniently placed barrel of crowbars. Barry's smile widened as he realized that this was the classic movie scene where the hero had to gear up and arm himself to the teeth. Barry threw himself into the role.
That's great. Barry is about to you'll just have to see for yourself.
I'm gonna give Pastor Howard a piece of my mind about this lock. Ugh, I told him to get it fixed.
Here they come.
Let's take a flank.
Okay. I hate it when games give you those NPCs that are actually like super useful, because I'm just waiting for it to be like, oh no, Alan, we've been cut off. I'll meet you on the other side. Be sure to fend these guys off all by yourself. You know? Oh. Like, I'm gonna start depending on her just in time for her to be taken away from me. Could you stop moving, maybe? You have not said that, Hayes. That's... Wow.
Okay, it's open. Let's go, Wake.
Let's get woke.
For it to be free, the Dark Presence needed the writer to finish the story. Again and again, the story let it get frustratingly close to the writer without letting it capture him. It was bound by the events depicted in the manuscript, but it could pursue the writer indirectly, put others on the task, and stop those who would help him. It took over everything in its path, made them its puppets, and sent them after Alan Wake.
Wow. We keep them lit all night long on the night before Deerfest.
Why?
Well, it's tradition.
I'm not even thinking about that yet, Kaylin. I don't know if I'll get the next console. Depends on how much channel stuff I'm doing at that point,
There's no way
and
going through the crypt will turn out to be a bad idea.
if everybody else is going to opt into it. Because I may just, you know, stay on PC, especially if crossplay becomes the standard. Bless you! Sorry, Anna sneezed from the other room. There's no way she heard that. I don't remember this part at all. Thank God she can't run out of ammo. I think in her heart she heard you, Kaylin. And that's really all that matters, you know?
Did you call 911?
No. Oh my God. Is...
Yes, that one saw the light.
Oh my God.
You didn't like that one? A tough audience. Well, I got plenty more.
What are the Christmas
This whole time I thought I was Alan.
Protection, man.
Turns out I'm Barry.
Against vampires.
Vampires.
The helicopter's just across the parking lot and up the hill. Come on.
The Bright Falls General Store is now my favorite place in the entire world. See this headlamp? It's like a superpower. I can just look at one of those things and they die. It's my flaming eye of Mordor.
None of that's right.
I wish I didn't say that.
Yeah.
Hey, I want a headlamp.
Last one.
Bastard.
Bastard. The face of Alan, the soul of Barry.
Alice had screamed until she had no voice left to scream. Around her, the darkness was alive. It was cold and wet and malevolent and without end. She was a prisoner, trapped in the dark place. The terror would have burned her mind out, but one thing made her hang on. She could sense Alan in the dark. She could hear him. She could see the words he was writing as flickering shadows. He sensed her too. He was trying to work his way to her.
One second. combination is too good for this world.
When someone throws a damn school bus at your head and you're about to take a helicopter ride with someone who may or may not have a pilot's license, you're cleared for departure to Night Springs. No offense, Sheriff.
That was pretty good. Take those. So, honest opinion I need from you guys. I might be kind of close to beating the game, maybe. Like, maybe an hour. Do I finish it tonight? Or do I wrap it up in the next few minutes and bleed it over into tomorrow?
Oh, I'm never gonna get used to this.
Kaylin says yes. To which one? Because like our viewership is apparently 5 right now. But I don't want to, be like 30 minutes into it and then everyone have to go, Because I am kind of tired.
The helicopter's
But I'd be
just
fine
up
if
ahead.
like
I'll need
I
a
had
while
people
to
keeping me
prep for
company.
takeoff.
Don't take too long. I want to get out of here.
What's happening? Oh my god.
Never get her back.
We're not ready to take off yet.
Well, get ready. I'll hold them off.
Oh my gosh, dodge, you idiot. Gotta get the thermos. I just now saw the thermos. Question though, if I was to stream the rest of it tomorrow night around like 9 o'clock, would Hayes and Kaylin, would you guys be able to attend that?
Try to stay alive. Using everything I dare on the checklist.
Oh my god! I couldn't move.
Well, get ready. I'll hold them off.
Great. Whoa, whoa! You may have mentioned that, Kaylin. It sounds familiar. Great advice. That's good, Caleb. That's great. Is your job there one you want to keep, or were you looking for other opportunities? You know, Barry could be out here helping. Anytime now. I'm just gonna assume this helicopter is gonna crash, so I'm just gonna... This is the longest helicopter prep I've ever seen. No, you don't.
You better put an end to this.
Just get me to Weaver, Sheriff.
You're taking a big chance on a local crazy lady, Al. I hope you're right about her, or we can kiss this town goodbye.
I hope you know how to deal with this, Wake. I guess you New Yorkers are used to rough situations like this.
Right. The city's a war zone. King Kong, mutant alligators, and Alex Casey shoots the place up every weekend. Look, I never even carried a gun until a couple of days ago.
Well, my dad used to be a cop there. Tells some pretty wild stories.
Stuff like this?
No, just normal bad stuff. Kinda like your books, Wake. I used to tease Dad that he was just like Alex Casey.
You've read me.
Oh, sure. You're a pretty good writer. A little heavy on the metaphors, maybe.
Nobody's ever said that before.
We're coming up on the power plant.
Do you think
See
Alan
what we're
wrote that
building
dialogue?
over there? And that's the dam further up the river. I can't land here. I'll take her down the road across the river.
Just get me there, Sheriff.
Hold on! Ow!
I don't know what's so hard about holding on to a flashlight, Alan. Every single time the slightest thing happens, he's like, oh no, I seem to have lost my flashlight. Here, let's use this worse flashlight. Come on. can use... Oh! Dang. That did not work out. Whew. How many freaking things do you have to throw? Oh, a shotgun. Oh no. Woo. Wait, another radio.
Here's a new song from a band that they always remind me of our local rock legends, the old gods. I'll tell you why. I guess it's just one of those things. Anyway, here's Poets of the Fall with their latest single, War.
Huh. That's funny. So Poets of the Fall is the band that does the music of Old Gods of Asgard. Blow up. Ooh, that was close. Crap, where are they coming from? Trying to not use my last flare until I absolutely need it. Whew. Guess I'm running. Wish this game shifts me to my core. Shuddering in the corner, fetal position. It's not doing it for me, sadly. Is this game's horror subtle, or does it build up? And I dropped in too late. It's not a horror game first, Kalen. It's more of a suspense thriller. The horror is more of the mystery, I guess. So I mean, this game doesn't scare me, but it does keep me very engaged and has me on the edge of my seat, but in a different way to horror. And Hayes probably not going to get Sword and Shield. Unless if I am given a very good reason, which I have not really seen yet, because like, with me, I fizzle out with Pokemon games. Like, I have a lot of fun with them at first, and then that's definitely gonna kill me. And then when I get to a certain point, I just stop wanting to play them, because like the early game of all Pokemon games is really strong, but I feel like for whatever reason, for me, I get less engaged with time. Except for Silver. Pokemon Silver really nailed it for me. I mean, games with a grind don't really bother me. I mean, look at the games I normally play. Oh wow, he just commando lunged me.
Making her way through the water pipe alone, Cynthia was angry at the writer. Foolish young man, taking unnecessary risks. And the way he broke the rules. Didn't he understand what was at stake? Since the terrible days in the 70s, she hadn't wavered once, as hard as it had been. She was tired of protecting the town all these long years, and now only wanted to rest.
One second. I have a very competitive, non-patient personality, but Pokemon is about the only chill game I can play. Okay. Only chill game. I reread that and I was like, non-chill, and then yeah, only chill game. Got it. One second, guys. Okay. Oh. And this is why we save the flares. So what have you guys thought of this game? We've been playing it for 4 days now. What is the general vibe? Because I know that some people were kind of bored with JK2 towards the end. How are we feeling about this game?
The story I had written in the cabin had come true. Touched by the dark presence, I had written a horror story. But the end was still missing. The story was incomplete, and the last unfinished page of the manuscript still sat in the typewriter in the cabin study. If I could get back there, if I could read the page, then I could write my own ending to this story and save Alice.
Interesting. I didn't know that was his plan. Oh. I mean, you can say if you want to, Caitlin. I want everyone's impression, regardless of how much they've spent with it. I'm sorry if we misled you guys into thinking that this game was like a really scary game. It's more psychological than anything. and more of about the suspense. But these are the kinds of horror games, or I guess suspense thriller games that I really enjoy. One second. Yeah, and this is, that's a good way to put it. This game is definitely atmospheric horror.
More birds.
I'm getting so turned around. More shotgun. More Night Springs? Yes.
Men dreaming of being butterflies, or butterflies that dream of being men. Such philosophical concerns are by necessity abstract. And yet, some of us can find concrete proof of the nature of our existence in Night Springs. Tonight's episode, an absence of creativity.
Hello, Martha. What did you want to show me?
Oh, Lydia, thank God you're here. Please, it's in the basement.
I don't think so, Kaylin.
Oh, Martha. Oh, that's amazing.
Isn't it just? I found it here this morning.
It's like it isn't there, but oh, I can't look straight at it.
Yes, I'm sorry.
How did you get here?
Well, I'm trying to work.
Did you put this thing here?
In a way. To be more precise, I put everything here but that.
Really? But what is it?
Oh, I guess the temptation is to call it a hole, but it's really an absence. Profound lack of reality.
In Martha's basement?
Okay, the glare is bothering me.
Doing so well. I came up with two old ladies and put something really weird in the basement. It was
Can't shoot the light.
completely blocked now. I can't imagine what I was up to.
Well, surely it's just an ordinary basement.
Is it? Why did you call your friend here then?
Well, I don't know.
Oh well.
Couldn't you just ignore it?
Oh no, I couldn't do that. It would probably turn into a plot hole. Might be one already. Could sink the whole enterprise.
Oh my.
Listen, ladies, not to be rude, but I'm really not at all sure where I'm going with this, and you're just not helping. You should just go back upstairs for a cup of coffee while I try to figure out what I'm up to.
Well, if you think that's best.
Maybe I should just stop here. Or is that too moronic?
Is that too moronic? Indeed. Who can tell? It's a fine line between the stupid and the sublime.
That's a Jake question, Kaylin.
Night Springs.
Okay. bridge is still spinning. Oh, that thing stopped on a dime. It's stop. It's turned on a dime. But does one stop on a dime as well? What all actions can one do on a dime? That is the question I'm posing you guys on tonight's Thornton battle. Four actions. Gosh, Kalen, that's a deep cut if you bring in Darien quotes in here. Bravo. Oh my gosh, that actually worked. Oh my gosh, clip that. Somebody clip that. I need that footage. That was super cool. Well, that didn't work at all. Good job. I'm probably gonna die for it too. Oh my gosh. Whoa. Yep. So, when I dodged, Kaylin, just a second ago, I dodged someone throwing an axe at me, and when I dodged, an enemy came up between me and the guy with the axe, and the axe hit him in the head and it killed him. It was really cool. Should probably just be using the spotlight, huh? Get out of my light! Your darkness. Whew. I'm going to play Fallout Duty, Modern Welfare. I'm thinking about it. That campaign trailer was really good. I was impressed. Plus, Soap's back. I love Soap. Alright, I'm just gonna run then. How about that? Okay. I did. Very little. And, I don't know. This new one looks pretty cool. I always really liked the first one. Like, the story of the first one was super well done. I blame myself for that one. What happened if I shot one of the darkness with a laser pointer? Like a really good laser pointer.
I'd seen a version of it painted all over the area, signifying hidden caches of supplies.
Thank God, a coffee thermos. Okay.
Hold it right there! Miss Weaver! Cynthia! I'm a friend!
Prove it!
You knew Zane! Thomas Zane! You're the Lady of the Light in the song! You can help me!
About time! Young man, I've been waiting a very long time for you. It's in the well-lit room.
Excuse me?
What you'll need to drive the darkness back. The well-lit room is at the dam. I built the room to keep it safe.
My computer gets kind of hot when the door is closed, because this room doesn't
Will it help me find out?
air very well.
Get me back to the cabin? Fine, let's go. I can get my friends to come back with the helicopter.
We won't go outside. Never at night. That's rule number 1. You've been breaking the rules, young man, and where has that gotten us, Oh, I won't see the root. A lip root. Old water pipe. Something was damaged at the transformer yard. It's green. All the reserve power. Without it, the pipe will go dark. The power to the yard must be cut.
Let me guess. You want me to do it?
Young man, you're the one who likes
What do you mean, let me get? You wrote this!
I can't be outside in the dark. The kill switch is outside.
A very bright place.
I have been preparing for these times. The dark tides. You found my caches, haven't you? You can see the signs. Very few people can. Yes, please. Take what you need. This is all for you, for the likes of us. We do Tom's work, don't we?
I almost shot a flare at that guy, because I had the wrong gun equipped. That was on purpose.
Weaver had sent me to cut the power to the transformer yard. I was willing to do grunt work for her to get her to help me. I hoped Weaver was dependable. I'd stumbled into this crazy world a little over a week ago. She had been living this insanity for decades.
So who all's still here? What all are we doing?
I could see the kill switch that would cut the power to the transformer.
Really hope I'm close to
now
the end.
I had to find a way to
dragging
reach
a
it.
little bit. Oh no. Is this a puzzle? Hosey to you as well, Hayes. It's a friggin' puzzle. I'm so tired. Okay. I feel you, Alan. did I think. Really glad I didn't accidentally shoot a flare.
Who designs these things?
That's that thing. Oh.
The transponder yard went dark and dead. Weaver's water pipe passage should now be good to go.
I hear ya. Whew. Interesting. My iPad's not receiving chat. I just realized that. I've got the window pulled up though. What do I do? So these are people possessed by the darkness. I think. Again, it's not super clear. How did we drop 3 subscribers? I just realized that according to my iPad. We're down to 788. What the heck? There we go. It's actually letting me do it now. I'm still live, right? You guys are still seeing this stream. Somebody say something.
This way, young man. Follow me. Come, come. The pipe's empty now. We're ready to go. This way. We need to go. I knew them both, Tom and Barbara.
I don't know, Hayes. I really don't. We're trying.
Such a beautiful man. I was jealous. There was a part of me that was maybe a little glad when she had the accident. And then Tom started writing and woke the darkness up. He tried to bring her back, but you can't do that. There are no free rides like that.
I'm starting to realize that.
In that case, young man, perhaps you're a smarter man than Tom was. The witch looked like her, but it wasn't. Barbara was sweet. He didn't understand until it was too late. He tried to undo it, wrote himself, her, everything he'd ever written out of the world. Oh, he was so famous. And afterward, no one knew. Oh, Tom. He left only one thing behind in case it happened again. Insurance. He trusted me. Or perhaps used me a little. Tom knew how I felt. Knew I wouldn't refuse him. I built the well-lit room and put it there. It's been waiting for you. We are characters trapped in a story you have written, and none of us will survive to see the end. If the darkness isn't stopped, she'll twist the story to her own dark ends.
How do you know all this?
Tom, that's the way he wrote it. He still talks to me, in television, beyond, from below. We have both been touched by the darkness, young man. He saved us both with light. The darkness stays with you. You sustain.
This pipe will take us directly to the well-lit room.
Okay, I need to call my friends, tell them where we're going.
Hello? Al!
Barry, we're headed to the dam in one of the pipes. Meet us there.
Okay, I'll tell Sarah.
It's Sarah now?
Whoa! No! For the sweet love of...
Barry! Barry! We gotta go see if they're okay.
They're probably dead. You must reach the well-lit room. This is no time to be a selfish idiot.
That's my best friend.
Well, be a fool. I'll use the pipe. I'll meet you at the dam if you make it.
At least I didn't have to worry about her. She knew how to stay safe.
Gosh. We're still going. I'm not sure how much longer, but we're still going.
Sarah was almost starting to relax. Maybe they could turn this into a win yet. Suddenly, there was a piercing sound, like a table saw gone wild, as 100 birds made out of shadows swarmed into the rotor. The chopper bucked wildly and the board lit up, telling her what she already knew. They were going down. Barry Wheeler screamed next to her.
iPad's being really weird. So I no longer know for sure if I'm live, and I can't see how many people are watching. I can still see the chat though. Okay, let's calm down. The product son returns. What? Is this the way I came? That's totally the way I came. Seriously, I went up that way for nothing. I like product better, because it's funnier.
crash site looked bad.
Alan.
As far as I could tell, the wreck was empty.
That's pretty good, Galen.
Barry! Barry! Hang in there, I'm coming!
There we go. Oof.
You know when to make an entrance, Wake. We were ready to make like Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid.
I have a different ending in mind.
Yeah, I'm fine. Thanks for asking.
I knew you'd be all right.
How's that?
The flaming eye of Mordor?
Laugh it up, funny man. Didn't we have somewhere to go?
It's the Eye of
Evil will meet us at the
Sauron, you
dam.
swine. One second. Alright, good. I've got some hunting rifle ammo now.
Let's take a break, huh? Lead the way, Al. Try not to get us killed.
You see those lights? That's the elevator we need to take.
Yep.
You can't beat a good mind.
What the hell is that thing? It's everywhere! Oh crap, there's more than one of them!
Nothing moves like that. It's impossible.
Seriously, you're saying that's impossible?
Al! Do something!
He's too fast. I can't get a shot.
There! No, there! Al, they're all over the place!
How many of them are there? Where'd that one go?
Ah, this
I'm just
can't
gonna
be
walk
happening!
away. How's that? Calm down.
Over there. Wait, this is bad. This is really bad. Give me that.
Taken or filled with darkness.
Was that it? Are we safe?
Wait, call the elevator. I'm keeping watch.
Elevator.
Something moving around.
Phone. That was dumb. That was probably the dumbest thing I've said tonight.
Heads up. Here they come.
Oh no! Oh no!
Come on. Boom. Flare gun. For the win.
They're coming. We have to hold them off.
We have to.
Shooting.
Oh no! Oh no! Ah! No!
No, you don't. Keep hitting them.
I swear this is the slowest elevator in the world!
Adds to the drama, Barry. I know, I'm a writer.
It's almost too late. Just hold on.
you'll get us
Oh.
all killed.
Wait.
Al, hit the button.
You could hit the button.
We're almost there. There's an entrance into the dam at the top.
I am
What's the
thankfully
plan, Wade?
working from home
Well, Weaver's
tomorrow.
crazy, but she's got something
But I've got a
Zane left
lot of
behind.
stuff to do.
Something to fix this.
Gee, could you be a little more vague?
Thomas Zane? Seriously? Might as well be Paul Bunyan or Bigfoot.
Yeah, well, he was real.
Alan said that line
Let's
like
be
a kid
careful,
making a
okay?
case for Santa Claus. Yeah, well, he's real.
I hate this.
Okay, wait. There's a button over there that opens the door.
I don't know. Do you guys not want me to call it? I mean, Hayes, Kolov, Kalen, if you guys are all still here. I feel bad calling it because 2 of you won't be here tomorrow, and
I think something's
I do
broken.
play with the
Pull
lights
button
off.
down so we can get in. Ow! Wait! What's going on? We can get to the dam through here. What's happening out there?
You guys go ahead and find Weaver. She should be in the dam now. I'll have to make it alone through the top.
Okay, wait. Good luck. Don't get yourself killed.
I feel like I'm at the point where
I'll take good care of
I pretty much have to finish it tonight.
Look after yourself.
Otherwise, it's going to be like a 45-minute stream tomorrow.
You gotta be kidding me. Down, boy. Thomas Zane knew he had to remove all that had made this horror possible, including himself. That was the only way to banish the dark presence he had unleashed.
It's alright,
and now
guys.
looked at him through the eyes of his dead love. But he also knew that despite his best efforts, it might someday return. So even as he wrote himself and his work out of existence, he added a loophole as insurance, an exception to the rule. Anything of his stored in a shoebox would remain.
I'm alright, Kolov. I'll sleep eventually. I feel like I'm really close. I feel and sound like Alan climbs a ladder. You know, it's very pitiful and slow.
I was ridiculously outnumbered. The searchlight could even the odds.
Or that. So a very interesting perspective on Fortnite that I've heard. Like a case for Fortnite, if you will, is that it's basically it's basically daycare.
I was ridiculously outnumbered. The searchlight could
Which
even
I
the odds.
kind of agree with. even though it doesn't affect me personally because I don't play PvP. What kind of games is your kid gonna play, Colo? If anything. Use the... Ooh.
Enough. You will go no further. Stop. Stop now.
So you... are you saying that you will be attending some of the charity stream, Kaon, or that you won't? Oh, that's a very large tornado. We just don't want you to break the bank, Kaylin. If you want to donate, be my guest, but only if it's not going to put you in a tough spot. It's your money, so spend it however you see fit, but just don't go broke on our account. I guess on the kids' account. Give me that thermos. Hashtag do it for kids.
You made it. Well done. I'm glad I was wrong. But it was a foolish chance to take. Don't worry about the noise. We're safe here. I have looked after the well-lit room for many, many years now. There is no shadow in the well-lit room. The power is fail-safe, and all the bulbs are numbered and changed regularly based on their make and model.
Right.
Oh, you don't like it when people point lights at your face?
Cove Point, north of here. It was active during the Second World War. They operated here back then. They must have built this.
Yes, they did. It's my place now. Take it, and I won't need to worry about the room anymore, because 6 and 33 and 118 need changing soon, and I don't want to climb up the ladder to change them because it's very late, and I'm tired. And if you take it, I won't have to do that anymore.
The page was autobiographical, a memory from my childhood. But I didn't write this. It was a page written by Thomas Zane. None of them were supposed to exist anymore.
Alan, 7 years old, would fight sleep to the bitter end. When he did sleep, he soon woke up, screaming, with nightmares fresh in his mind. One evening, his mother, sitting by his bed, offered him an old light switch. She called it the clicker, and flicking the switch would turn on magical light that would drive the beast away. To imbue the talisman with all possible power, she added that it had been given to her by Alan's father. Alan never knew him, and anything of his took on mythical proportions in his mind. With the clicker firmly in his hand, Alan finally slept like a baby. Now, almost 30 years later, Alan thought of this as he stood on the rim of Cauldron Lake, the clicker in his hand. He took a deep breath and jumped.
My mind swirled. I'd given the clicker to Alice, yet it was here. Zane had written it into existence in a story I had written.
Good Lord.
I can get to her now. I can finish this.
We're not done? Let's see what happens when I
Previously on
Oh my
Alan
God.
Wake, I wrote a horror story that has come true. Thomas Zane did the same in the 70s.
You will go no further.
If I continue like the Dark Presence wants me to, the story I'm writing won't save Alice. It's a horror story. No one will survive.
You knew Zane, Thomas Zane. You're the Lady of the Light in the song.
He left something behind to help me. The clicker.
Alan thought of this as he stood on the rim of Cauldron Lake, the clicker in his hand. He took a deep breath and jumped.
I can get to her now. I can finish this.
Alright. I'm gonna look up how long this episode is.
I had a hangover. My head was about to explode and the light hurt my eyes. I needed my sunglasses and painkillers to dull the pain. In one of my finer moments of self-deception, I swore to quit drinking.
All right. This is saying 2 hours. All right. Thanks for watching, everybody. I will be returning to finish this tomorrow night. I need to call it. I need to get to bed. So I'm gonna poll Discord and see what time would be best to beat this thing. And we'll finish it tomorrow. Oh, Jared, you're still here? I appreciate you sticking it out with us this long. We are going to finish it tomorrow night, though. And if it's frustrating enough, just I may not actually finish it, but I will give it my best shot. Because I've still got to write the script and a bunch of stuff. So there's a lot of work yet to be done. I think I have enough for the review, though. I just need to see the ending. So, thanks for watching, everybody. I appreciate you guys sticking it out with me. And if you are new to the channel, this is something we're doing once every month called Forward Compatible. I play a game I haven't played in at least 5 years and see if it holds up. So this is all working towards a review that's going to come out on Monday. This isn't what our normal schedule looks like, but we'll get back to that normal schedule next week. If you liked any of this, feel free to leave a like, share with friends, and subscribe to Chortle Games for more stuff like this. Kolov, Hayes, Jared, Kaylin, thank you guys for sticking it out with me this long. I really appreciate it. I hope I can see you guys tomorrow night. But I'll figure out when I'm going to do this on the Discord, which, by the way, if you would like to hang out with us throughout the week when we're not live streaming, check out our Discord. That's the place to do that. But until tomorrow, hope you guys have a great Friday, because tomorrow is Friday. Yes. Have a great Friday, and I will check back with you tomorrow night.